Hello people, this is Endeaville. Welcome to Quasimorph. So we delivered our data, we did our espionage, and we did Mars. And we quite said we were going to talk about factions today. Well, just to make a minor introduction, in this game we've got major factions, minor factions, and outliers. Major factions are the exarchs, and for that we've got Tianming with cloning. SBN were really scary because they bring beam, and we have no way of dealing with that in the very early game. We've got Realware and Uncom, which are quite easy to deal with once you know what you're against. We've got Dilthy, another exarch, the last one we have as of now. They also bring beam, they make very heavy usage of robots, so they're quite scary. They're also on the outer belt, as Tianming is, so you have really no way of counteracting them in the very early game. Then we've got the minor factions. We've got miners, Scoreward, religious guys as Church. We've got Planet Bridge and Dating Cams. There's also the Space Trackers, Grasshopper Technologies, the Space Police, well, Prison Makers, French Comté, and we've got the other religion faction with Beam and Robots, which is, well, Beam, Coven. Minor factions can be proxy, but we will talk about that in a while. And then last but not least, we've got the outliers. Outliers are pirates, which do their own thing, civil resistance, which has their own agenda, and then Teslan, the aliens, the Quasimorphs, the thing we've awakened, which gives the game the third layer, and we will talk about that once we get in a mission with Quasimorphs. But that's mostly it. One thing you have to bear in mind is on the very early game, if you're around Mars, you're not going to be seeing the Quasis. So for that, for the moment, we're going to ignore anything else. So we went into the espionage on the last chapter, and I said I wanted to do this defense. This defense here is going to give me the materials to keep crafting for a while, so I very much want to do that. However, getting into a defense is no easy task. For the early game, you really lack the range to actually be able to do meaningful stuff on those, but just for demonstration purposes, we will be going into this one and we will try and do our best. So I need this. And this is mostly about it. I mean, just in case, let's bring the turret and let's bring some food. We're not going to need 2 stacks of PMC, actually probably pasta. We'll do it. And does Easy have the good backpack? No. We actually didn't get a backpack from delivering the data, I think. Oh, we did. So we did this. And without any further ado, we get into the defense. So, this map is actually a funny one. There are ways we can be outranged if we go. I used to love this spot, but then with against able resistance we can have cutters in here. Defense missions are all about finding a position you can defend and not be overrun. So with that in mind, come on game. Okay, you're melee, so I don't have to be worried about you for the moment. What I've mostly done until now is just create sidelines for me not to be overrun. We're going to leave you get closer. You're actually in shotgun range. This is the last we have for shotgun, so and we get a reload in. And now it's basically waiting. Okay, you're still not going to shoot at me, and you will line up. Yeah, got shot, but you missed. And we got combat focus up, which means we have dodge chance for a while. So, defense missions. This was a wave. You have 3 waves on a defense mission. Starting up at... this is from the top of my head, but I think it's... a defense mission has about 80 turns, and you get 1 wave at turn 75 or 70, you get 1 wave at round turn 50. Speaking of turns till mission end, and 1 wave at around turn 25. You gotta survive those, and this is it. So we take our sweet time to actually reload here, because we will need. You're in range, so let's shoot at you. You're in range. And you're not quite going to die, but you're probably pain locked. No, you're not. Okay. This is inconvenient, because we actually have no materials to heal, I think. Nope. So we will have to let one of the melee guys get near us. You will do. 1, 2, 3 is perfect, so yeah, please. So, get in here. Swap the vest, because we're out of shotgun shells. Get her materials. We could actually eat. And get back to full. We stabilize our wound. And we get back into our inventory. And create a bit of cover for ourselves with the turret. Get back to shooting mode. And let our turret do its thing. In 3 turns, we're going to roll on a 30% to actually heal that fracture. 1, 2, and 3. And this time it didn't happen, so we just patch it again. And basically we will be rolling on 30% to save ourselves from that. You're melee, so we will actually wait. Yeah, get out of here. We didn't heal again, so patch. Melee, let you get close, and melee, let you get close. That's if you even do. Okay, that's one person I don't want to get real close. Yeah, I think I have to go burst here. Just so I can shoot both. Get a reload in. And keep waiting. You can see our turret is doing its work. You're actually melee, I want you to come closer. Okay. We don't need to be bursting. Allow me 1 second though. For some reason, my earbuds were not respecting my volume levels, so it was really loud in my ears. Get a reload in, and this was it. I mean, we got hit once, we got a fracture, but other than that, we passed the mission with high colors. So, one thing we want to do, we've actually got no use for the turret now. So we will destroy it. There's food here, and we start disassembling stuff. And it's basically a process where you get materials. So defenses are good because of that. We find the bone, and with said bone, we're going to get to our turret, and we will try and get ammo back from it, but we didn't succeed. That's okay. You're still not done. I mean, we could get slugs, but we actually do have slugs at home, so what I'm going to do is get gunpowder from you. We also have a lot of 9mm. So disassemble it is. We have no rubber, so what I'm going to do is take the rubber and actually drop the rusty parts. Okay, there was actually ammo in here. Oh, we're already at 100. I mean, that's okay. And yeah, we got nothing really that interesting from this mission. But still. It gives us materials to keep going and keep producing. So we have full stacks of everything that we can get. All there's left is actually look for interesting stuff. And this radar actually had a switchboard, and that's one component we're missing. And an important one at that. That's about everybody. Whoops, not really. We got 8 weapon parts, we got 80 rounds, 200 gunpowder, and a bit of assorted loot. It's actually okay. We've already called for evac, so let's get out of here. We did the mission for Coven, so we're gonna be rolling on a mercenary chip, fast chip, which we got, and we get Terror Pack. We get a Starlock MD6, which is not bad. We get upgrade materials, some backshot, and knife maker kit, which is not bad. Most importantly, we got the switchboard. So we drop the stuff we really don't need. Get backshot. And leave Frank ready for the next mission, which he already is, so... And this was basically doing a defense, so we had the upgrade materials to do something. That's something. So switchboards. Yeah, they're here. We want 2 of them to unlock monitoring. Monitoring is important because it lets us create more missions. It's also in the way getting into the scanner. Scanner makes things significantly easier when we get that, as we start seeing mission floors when we get it. Also, most importantly, it gets us, when we get to tier 3, to management. Management allows us to proxy a minor corporation, and that's also important because it also makes adds a layer to the game. So all in all, a very good tree we do have in navigation. The other trees I wanted to unlock are hunger, because in hunger we do have the capsule, which allows us to summon a capsule to extract items. It also gives us the shadow. Shadow is very important because it unlocks the ability to bring and take away more items into each mission. Last but not least, it gets into trade, but trade I usually don't dabble much into. Other important upgrades are cloning and research. For cloning and research, we need the cloning control systems and the research stations, but these are better bartered than salvaged. Sure, if I am into a mission and I do have the slots available when trying to extract, I'm going to take those, but usually I mostly barter for them into the stations. And that brings us to the next thing I want to talk about. That's station production. We're into Mars, so it's not going to be that obvious, but once the game gets going, at around 4 or 5 days passed since the beginning, you will see stations starting to produce the items they got underproduced items, and also they have a chance to produce items from their faction tech tree. That means if we wait 4 days for, let's say, and yeah, it's actually not that obvious in here. Let us go to Phobos, I think. Well, we'd have already been to Phobos, but the important part about Phobos is it lets us deal with, get the welding machine if we start with random equipment or an unfair, and that's mostly what I'm starting usually. It also gets you Rogue City, getting the Hunter X, weapon crates and armor crates, which are quite important on the early game on higher difficulties. But I guess we're not gonna be needing that for a while. So the best next course of action would actually be going to the Earth orbit and doing some missions there. Why do I say that? Because on Avicenna Clinic, we've got cloning stations and research stations being made. On the Earth, we also have, I think it was from SBM, does them on the orbital station. And that's something you very much want to unlock. Cloning, gene modding will allow you to cover the patches on your operators. That means operators such as Easy only has side range 7. You want to get her at least to Vision 8 as soon as possible. Ideally, to Vision 9 or 10. Percy, the same. You want to patch his range accuracy, you want to patch the side range. I mean, 8 is okay on normal, but you can get vision to 10, then you can't be surprised anymore, so that's good. Biggie, you want to patch the health badly, you want to patch the pain threshold badly, so you can see where I'm going there. However, upgrade materials and gene modding is expensive. So the game is really encouraging you to choose an operator and basically upgrade them for the late game. The other ones are useful, and we're gonna be using most of our operators because they have use cases where they are important. But as we said, we've already seen what we have here is not really something we want to be trading for. We have no missions. So our best course of action here is actually go to somewhere else. That somewhere else, for example, being the moon. I see people in this game actually not traveling a lot. Well, travel allows for two very important things in this game. First and foremost, it gives us the ability to let time pass quickly, and time passing quickly means actions get to progress in their tech tree. That might be more important than you realize. One of the easiest ways to get better gear is actually let people progress and give you better rewards and better loot when going into missions. So you really don't have to be afraid of doing small leaps and travels. There's a consideration to be made when starting the game and actually traveling from Mars to Jupiter. You're going to be 3 months out by doing that, so that's quite the jump. But traveling for 20 days, like we really did, not that game disrupting, and actually gives us a way of letting factions go to Tech 2, which is something we want. So we delivered the data to Ancom, and we've traveled, let time pass, and Ancom is telling us they have a contract for us at Venus. This is a quite difficult mission. This is a story mission. We might be doing them this playthrough, but we will wait for a bit until we have a bit better gear to actually do that. So, yeah, Jane is telling us it's complicated. We've let time pass and people are starting to produce the items that are listed. So we could totally start doing missions and profiting from that. We see missions for church, which are quite okay in our books. There's espionage, there's control. We haven't done controls, so I guess we could very well do one, but that's something we're probably going to be doing on the next chapter. I'm going to try to just keep one mission per chapter. Yeah, there's going to be chapters where this actually means the chapter is not going beyond 30 minutes, but I really think that's the best way to showcase the early game and the different mission types for demonstration purposes. So today it's been a defense. We've talked a bit about corporations and the different factions. We've seen how to deal with defenses. I'm not saying by any means that you have to do defense missions as I do. There's other ways of doing them, but not getting on a map edge or on a defensible position is actually gonna mean you will be surrounded by a lot of people. And that's where things get complicated. You saw how easily we dealt with the defense we did here. So hope this was helpful. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. And remember, this is a game we're trying to have fun, so do have fun. Indie Bell out.